Well, I find myself on a lovely grey rainy day here at Gaydon in Warwickshire, at the headquarters, of course, of JLR for another look at the brand new Jaguar GT. We've been here before. I've done videos on this car before. You've seen me in the passenger seat. Well, I'm actually here to drive it this time around. And alongside it drive some examples of the heritage fleet here at Jaguar as well. And the more I look at this car, the more fascinating it becomes, the more interesting the technology is as they let us have a little bit more information about it. And to pitch it against the Jaguars of old has been really instructive today because it's just given an insight into how this car was developed. But to give an even bigger insight into how this car was developed, Joanne is here. And tell us your job title here at JLR.
Yeah. Vehicle engineering manager for this car. So my job is to deliver the engineering and help the team finish it and get it to the line.
So your whole life has been this car?
Yes.
For the last
5 years.
And it all started in COVID. You were telling us earlier that you were all stood in the theatre up there in masks, socially distanced, trying to map out the future of Jaguar. So what were the considerations? What was on the mood board when you were trying to decide the future of Britain's biggest brand?
It was almost, I remember it being fearless because we had to reimagine it, right? It was quite a big job to do, and it was about us delivering the character that the Jaguar has in this DNA, right? Like the power in reserve, the primary control on is right, that refinement, that's what we had to deliver.
And was the canvas really truly blank? Was it just copy nothing, we've been told?
We had the blank canvas, and that's almost the problem, because if you don't have anything to start from, then you have to start thinking. No constraints. So it was almost daunting as much as amazing to have that blank canvas. But yeah, here it is.
Here it is. Now, when the car was first seen in its concept car guise as Type 00, there was a lot of upset amongst the traditionalists of Jaguar that perhaps Jaguar had disassociated itself with its customers of old. We've seen here today that you were very much into learning about Jaguar's past, driving it, experiencing living with it, and use that to instruct you in designing of this car. Talk us through that process. How do you take an XJ Coupé from the 70s and make an EV that represents it?
Yeah, that definitely, we did that. We spent a lot of time driving all our classics, all our iconic cars, and the XJ Coupé is the one that stand out through the other ones, because how it has the primary control, the mix between luxury and refinement on the car and performance. So we just went to try to understand the subjective and then started translating it into the car and how we developed the car, the stiffness of this car, right? Like control from the cast notes here into all the structure going through the car to give you that solidity. That's how we went through and delivered the car.
And the proportions are very much Jaguar, aren't they? Probably very much alien to what's out there in the car market today. We've got this long bonnet. We've got what they call the luxury gap between the middle of the front wheel and the legs of the driver. And of course, this low, very low roof line
here.
And the sloping GT. I mean, I think the stat I was shown earlier was that if you put a wheel on top of a wheel, you're sort of 55%, aren't you? So that's incredible.
Higher than the car,
I mean, you couldn't make this if it was an internal combustion car, could you? These proportions wouldn't work.
No, at all. You cannot deliver that lower car and with that stiffness either. So that's why we had to go all new, all electric, to be able to deliver that true GT performance and proportions. Because to lower the car, we had to almost place all the HV systems at the front of the car here.
Right.
So we can then sit you at the back in comfort, sitting you inside the car and not on top of the car. So yeah, that's why we went unique and new architecture for the car.
And the basic anatomy is that the battery is sat right underneath the floor here. Somehow you've managed to devise enough room for passengers to sit in the back. They're in comfort, they don't have their knees up around their chin. You've got this fantastic driving position where you see along the bonnet, which is so unusual in today's cars, isn't it? And I have to say, that DNA of Jaguar that you've worked so hard felt real to me when I drove it today, because weirdly, I felt like I'd driven it many times before.
Wow.
You've got an EV, you've got all that power, but everything sort of fell to hand, like it was familiar. Was that the
Natural.
aim?
Yeah, it was definitely the aim. Like, we were so keen that the feel that you, when you drive one of the classics, of what you see in front of you, you also had that, but it needs to be a car that's easy to place. And that was definitely the aim. And I'm pleased that you're saying what you're saying, because that means that we delivered what we wanted.
Yeah. One of the things that you notice straight away, and is actually kind of exaggerated by the fact that I've been driving some of the heritage fleet, including E-Types here today, is actually by modern proportions how small the cabin appears to be when you first get in it. For someone of my stature, getting in the door is quite unusual, because you actually have to get yourself in it. It reminds me very much of XJS, where you feel cosseted, I think the word is.
Yeah.
It's like a little cuddle as you're going down the road.
Yes.
Huge car, but relatively small
Cocoon.
feeling cocoon or cabin.
Yeah.
And that is part of the Jaguar experience, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We drove down to Germany last weekend, and I lived 10 hours every day in the car, and you just feel that cocoon, and you're just comfy inside the car. You just want to be 10 more hours in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Technology, obviously, is incredibly forward-looking in this, but there are elements of this car that as we go towards production will be coming out and we'll tell more stories about.
Yes.
But there are elements of this car that have never been seen before, aren't they? And I think the stat was that this has had more patents on it than any other car in Jaguar's history.
That's correct. And I think that's having a blank canvas and being with the creative team just to deliver this. We finish creating things that hasn't been done before, like we push boundaries with innovation. And yeah, we're going to be, when we finish the engineering, we're going to be the Jaguar that has filed more patents ever in history. That easy to say, difficult to do, right? Definitely the portions of this car, like when you really stand back, look at it, you close your eyes, you remember the lines. And I think in the times that the market is so crowded with cars, that's so difficult to achieve, right? And then how the car drives, that it really has a feeling. The car almost talks to you when you're driving, and you have that DNA in the car. I'm super proud that we're almost custodians of Jaguar with this car, right? And I think we achieved it. Like we delivered that DNA of Jag.
I mean, no one's going to buy this car because it's really handy to have on the school run or if it's particularly practical. They're going to buy this because they love it, there's an emotional connection to it, and it gives them a thrill when they're driving it. That's a challenge when you're dealing with an EV. Is that emotion, that's what really has driven you during the process of doing this?
Yes. And we were quite keen to achieve that. We don't want to please everybody. This car is, if you're going to like it, you're going to love it. And if you don't like it, it's fair. Okay, it's not for you. We're not trying to please everybody. And yeah, that feel is there. Like, we want to create an emotion. If not, what's the point?
So you were expecting it to be quite polarizing when it was finally launched.
And that's positive, right? That means we're changing the game. If not, we just become another car. And we're building this for the next 90 years. This is not just a car for us.
You told me a great story. Obviously, there's 150 of these prototypes in camouflage, driving up and down roads and mountains and ice packed all over the world. And obviously, you've been part of the testing as well, and you've seen how the engineers have been developing this car. Tell me the story about the children across Europe and how they've reacted to this, even though it's still in camouflage.
That was almost dangerous, to be honest. So 2 weeks ago, driving back from Nürburgring, we went to the ring to do high-speed testing, and we were crossing one of the towns through Germany, and we had kids running behind us. And for me, that was a moment like, we did it, right? Like when a car like this creates an emotion and make kids run behind you, like.
Yeah. And in camouflage, they don't probably know really what it is.
Yeah,
all they know is it's really striking and different.
Yeah, exactly. And they then stopped us. They got lucky because we had to stop for somebody crossing, and they all with the phone taking picture of us. But yeah, what a moment that was. I think for me it was, we made it.
Fantastic. Well, I have to say, having driven the car, and you can see all the experiences that I've had with the car over the course of today in another video, it is exciting. It's exciting because it's a car that you can get in that's an EV, as cars have to be as we go into the new age of motoring, but that actually excites you to drive. It is something that you look forward to getting behind the wheel of. It's thrilling. It's something that you haven't experienced before. It gets you a little bit of adrenaline, which I don't think I've ever experienced in an EV before. But crucially, to people like me who have grown up with Jaguar, who have driven all of the Jaguars, who have reminded ourselves here today that Jaguar has a rich history, as a Series 1 E-Type comes in behind me as I'm talking, it's comforting to know that there are elements in this car, no matter how radical and wild the styling, and whether you like it or not, or whether you're already getting angry in the comments section of this video, that actually underneath all of that, there is a true Jaguar here. And someone who's driven Jaguars for as long as I have, and such a wide variety of them throughout history, instantly feels at home in this car and excited about the prospect of what Jaguar has yet to come.